Hey everyone, this is my bead soup jar. It is a jar where I throw all of the beads that I don't feel like sorting when a project is complete. I just throw them in here and I call it bead soup. And occasionally I will make projects with my bead soup jar, and that is exactly what I'm going to show you today. So we're going to make these fun and fast bead soup earrings. Anybody can make them, very beginner friendly. It's so easy and they go with everything. The second little pair, I actually sorted through my bead soup to get a nice little pastel color palette that I knew my younger daughter would like. So sorting the beads actually took me longer than anything else. And when you make your bead soup earrings, I like to choose all of the same size beads. I mean, you could obviously like throw different combination in there, but to keep it uniform in size, I chose all of my Delica size 11 Delica beads out of the mix. And I have a lot of different sizes. I have 15 I have some weird gemstones, all sorts of things in there, but I'm just using the 11 Delicas. And I am using a wire guard for the top. And I'm also using a solid color for the top of my earring. You don't have to do that. You could also make it, just multicolored as well. And I have a little ear wire that I'm going to use to put on the top so that it turns into an earring, obviously. It's a lever back ear wire. And I have a size 12 beading needle. It has a bend in it, and that is absolutely okay. And I am using size 6 pound weight fire line. You can't read it on there anymore, but it is 6 pound weight fire line, and you'll need 3.5 feet of that. Also, I have scissors to clip my thread, and I have pliers to open the little round part of my ear wire. And that is everything I need. So let's get started. So to begin, I am going to use black for the top part of my bead soup earrings. So I'm going to grab my black beads and give myself a little spoonful of those. And then I will sort out my bead soup. So here's the black I'm using. I also love the way the little ones turned out using the gold on the top. But yeah, do whatever you want. This is just one of those recipes where you measure by heart. You just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Here we have the bead soup beads, and I will just sort through those. And here we go, 2 little piles. And then I'm going to cut 3.5 feet of thread. I tried to do this project with 3. I was trying to be conservative with the thread. And in this video, I am doing it with 3 feet of thread. But you'll see towards the end, it just makes my life more difficult at the end. So don't do what I did. The first thing you're going to do is pick up 8 beads. So I have 8 beads of my solid color there. And then I'm going to go ahead and slide those down towards the end of my thread. You want to leave yourself a good tail, so like 4 to 5 inches of tail. Split your beads and then bring your needle back through the first 4 beads. And then pull that tightly, and you'll have something that looks like this, a little loop sort of looking thing. And then we're going to bring our needle down through the second 4 beads, like so. And pull that tightly. Hold it between your fingers like that so it gets nice and tight. And then you should have 2 neat little rows next to each other like that. And then we're going to pick up 4 more. So 4 more beads. And this time you're going to bring your needle so the thread's coming out of the bottom. So we're going to bring the needle in through the top so it's creating a little loop. The stitch that we're doing right now is technically called ladder stitch. So I'm going to bring that down. And then again, you have those 4 beads standing there, and to reinforce it, we're going to come right back up through those 4 beads. Like so. And then we do it again. We're going to have 6 little sets of these by the time we're finished. So I'm picking up another set of 4 beads. My thread is coming out of the top, so I'm going to bring my needle through the bottom. Bring my needle through the bottom there, pull it through, and then you'll have another little row of that ladder, a little rung on that ladder, and then come down through those new beads to reinforce them. And now we have 4. We're going to do it 2 more times. So picking up another 4 beads. This is like the hardest part of the whole thing, you guys. Like it's a really fun, easy earring. It's a fun way to use up those leftover beads. I think a cool way to do it would be if you know, use the same size beads for this top part for sure. For the ladder stitch, you definitely need the same size beads. Otherwise, it's going to be all wonky. But for the fringe, you can get wild and throw whatever kind of beads you want in there. I feel like that the wilder, the more fun it will be. But definitely for this top part, your beads need to be uniform. Here I am with my last set of beads. I'm coming through the bottom there. And then I'm just going to come back down through those beads. And you want to make sure that you don't have huge gaps in between these. When you hold it between your fingers like that and give it a nice tug, that tightens everything up. And then I'm going to just reinforce that last row by coming back up through the number 5, the group 5, and then back down through group 6. And now you should have something that looks like that. I have a little gap there. I was trying to tighten it up. And so now we're going to pick up our beads. The pattern I'm going with on this pair is 10 of the black beads, and then I'm going to have 50 multicolored beads. And I'm using all the same size, so I'll size 11 delicate beads. So that's my 10 black beads, and now I've picked up 50 of the random colors. It doesn't matter what colors. And then if I wanted this to be fringe, I would simply bring my needle back up. I would skip a bead at the bottom there, and then I would bring my needle back up, and that would become fringe. But we're going to make this a looped fringe, like so. So, you know, if you like long fringe, then this is where you would do that. You would just separate that bottom bead right there and then bring your needle back all the way up through all of those beads. But we're not going to do that. We are going to bring our needle back up through the black beads and create a little loop, which is why it's actually kind of useful to have a separate color there, because you know exactly where you're bringing your needle through. So I'm bringing my needle up through those 10 beads at the top, and then also the 4 beads above in the ladder stitch, like so. It should look just like that, and then we're going to pull it all the way through, and it's going to form that little loop. And that is one loop done. And then we're going to bring our needle down through the neighboring set of 4 beads. And this is where, if you're brand new to this, to beading, you want to make sure you have the right size beading needle, because we do have to pass through these beads several times. So having a small beading needle is really important. Now we're going in the second row. I have my 10 beads again, and then I'm going to add my 50 multicolored beads. There we go. And we do the same thing. We make that loop again, coming right back up through those 10 beads, and then pull it all the way through the 4 at the top as well. There we go. And now we have another loop, and then bring your needle down through the neighboring set of 4 beads. And we're just going to repeat that. So we keep going along like that until we have 6 groups of those beaded loops. Here's my third one. And I think it would look cute if you could, if you mixed in different size beads, but you just want to make sure that you're consistent, so that your loops stay the same size, or let your loops be big and long. I don't know, like play with this. I feel like this is a really fun sort of like starting point. You can make your loops longer, you can make your loops shorter, you can make them fringe instead of loops. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So here I am on that last row, and now this is what I have. I have this sort of flat loopy fringe thing, and I'm going to bring my needle from the sixth set of beads all the way over to the first. So just bringing your thread across the way there, like so. And just down through those first 4 beads, not all 10. And then we're going to pull it, fold it in on itself, and pull that, and that closes it tight. And then you're going to bring your needle across to that last row and bring it up through those 4 beads at the top, and that closes it. The next thing I am going to do is add my ear wire. My wire guardian. It's wire guardian, thread guard, wire guard. Those are all names for it. But I'm going to bring my needle through the little loop on the side of that, and then down the other side of the wire guardian, and then through the beads opposite from where my needle is exiting. Like that. So in between the two, there should be 2 sets of beads. So 4 beads, 2 on either side, and I'm coming in the opposite one. That doesn't make any sense, but going through the opposite one. Now, if you don't have a wire guardian, you could just put a loop of beads here. So put a loop of 7 beads or 6 beads across there, and you could do it that way. But I do recommend getting the wire guardians. It just makes your beadwork look more finished. Here I am just making sure I had skipped a bead there. See, I only went through 3 beads, so I was just making sure I got through that 4th bead. And then I'm going to weave my way around. So coming up through the neighboring group of 4, down through the next one, and up through the following one. And then I'm just going to go through that wire guard again, just to reinforce it. You always want the top of your earring to be strong. That's what gets the most friction. So you want to keep that really strong. Although this kind of thread, the Fireline thread, is super strong. I love it. So I've come up through the wire guardian again. I'm going down through the other side of the wire guardian. And then I'm going through 4 of those beads. And I'm pretty much done with this earring. I'm just going to go down now and create a couple of knots so I can secure it. Now, this is where I got into trouble because I didn't have enough thread. So see, I want to be able to bring that thread down through the through the fringe and make 2 knots. But see how short my thread is, and I really am fighting with it. So my needle came off because it was too short. And I'm going to just have to do this with my fingers. So what I want to do is make a knot and have it slide in between 2 beads. Obviously, you don't want it to show. So I'm just going to make a little knot, and you see I'm just struggling here. Also, it was more difficult because I'm trying to do it through the camera rather than actually looking at the thread itself. So here, I'll just leave my little struggle session in here for you, and eventually I'll get there. Oh, it's so frustrating. And when just watching it back, it was really frustrating in the moment too, but watching it is even more frustrating. Okay, so here I am, but you're not going to make my mistakes. You're going to use 3.5 to 4 feet of thread, and then you won't have this problem. So I'm just going to slide that knot right in between there. And then ideally you would still have your needle on the thread, and then you would bring your needle back through those beads and hide the thread. Also, ideally, you're going to want to make 2 knots, just so it's really secure. I was only able to make 1 knot because I didn't leave myself enough thread. But now I'm just pulling that through to hide that thread, and then I'm going to clip it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with that original thread from the very beginning, and I didn't really leave myself quite enough. It's much better, but the longer thread you could leave yourself, the better shape you will be. I would say 4 to 5 inches is what you need as your tail. And honestly, if you're new to this, I would go with 4 feet to start with. Better to have too much thread than not enough. So I have thread that, and now I'm going to bring it back down into the fringe there. And then I'm going to make another knot. Oh, maybe I'm going to go further. I'm going to go further down into the loop and then make a knot. And my thread came off again. I do want to say here, something I just thought of. If you wanted to make the straight fringe, like I showed you at the beginning, if you didn't loop, then you would want to use a different kind of thread. I like to use Nymo beading thread or Miyuki beading thread. You just need more of a nylon beading thread to make a nice sort of smoothly flowing fringe. So that's just something to think about. If you're going to make a straight fringe, you would want to use a different thread for this project so it's nice and supple. So here I'm making that knot, making sure it lands in between the beads. I have to thread my needle again because it's too short, but that's okay. You know, there actually is enough thread here. It just giving me a little extra headache because I have to keep rethreading that needle, but that's fine. The trick with threading your needle with fireline is make sure you sort of flatten the thread in between your fingernails before you thread the needle. That is a top tip. So that is through. I've given it a clip. That is finished. I'm just going to add my ear wire. You could use whatever kind of ear wires you want. I have this kind, which I'm just going to give a little twist to open it there with my pliers. And I put it over the wire guard, and then I give it a little twist to close. Now, really, you could sort through your bead soup and make these in all sorts of fun sort of color combinations and to go with every outfit you have ever owned and to make them for all of your friends. Yeah, I think it's a really fun, easy. You could do this with your kids. Use the beads that you don't mind them using. It's a great way to get them started beading. So I hope you enjoy this project, and I can't wait to see what you make. All right, bye. Oh, and one more thing, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm hoping to make a whole series of these like bead soup earring or jewelry videos. So we'll see what else I come up with, but I want to make a few of them because I have a big jar of bead soup. So please subscribe so you don't miss anything. And if you haven't, check out my website. I have lots of free patterns and ideas over there. So yeah, check that out as well. All right, now this is bye for real. Bye.